A history of the Wilson houses. My great memories with Elvin. Elvin and Fern married 25 years. Elvin and Fern. One 1005 East State Street, Alliance, Ohio, 1938, 1939. We were married at the Mount Union Methodist Church in 1938, and we immediately moved into this house to take care of Elvin's father, Daniel Wilson. He built the house in 1909, and Elvin was born there. His father remarried in September of 1939, and we had to move from this house, which was an operating farm with a large barn, orchard, fields, and so on. I cooked for everybody. Dan Wilson died in April of 1943, and we returned to this house where Hugh was born in August. We were hoping for a girl. We can't afford to take care this big house, so we took tourists to stay in the upstairs. We also sold produce at the roadside during those years. The house was sold twice by the family, and there were some legal issues with Dan's second wife, Mary Borton. Left to right in this picture, Lois, Marion, Mother Mabel, Dorothy, Mervyn, my father, Isabel, and front were the children, Barbie, Marion's, Nancy, Dorothy, and Gary, Fern. "2530 Fairway Lane, Alliance, Ohio, 1939 to 1945. Little house. We bought 25 acres at back of the property in 1939 near the Alliance Country Club and the Robert A. and Elizabeth H. Purcell estate, and built this house. We had a sheep wandering around the 25 acres and chickens. We built a small house with a living room, 2 bedrooms, and a basement, kitchen, dining area, and outside patio. We lived in this house where Gary was born. It was very cold, 14 degrees, when Elvin's father brought me home from the hospital to our new little house back of the country club. When Gary was 3 years old, we would walk to his grandfather's, Wilson's home on State Street through the fields and sheep. "812 Wright Avenue, Alliance, Ohio, 1945-1947. I am busy taking care of two little boys, seeing that they ate right while Elvin was busy working. 2557 Ridgewood Avenue, Alliance, Ohio, 1947 to 1950. The boys are older. It has a very large backyard and very comfortable house. We enjoyed the fireplace in the winter time and enjoyed the yard in the summer. Paper mache Halloween pumpkin caught on fire and landed in Hugh's lap. "356 East Mill Street, Alliance, Ohio, 1950 to 1957. Tossed salad. I remembered in the kitchen the boys had tossed salad for lunch while I was cooking green beans, and the boys decided to toss their salad, and they decided to toss their salad using their forks. A food fight. Squirrel. Hugh was bitten by a squirrel, and we had to keep it in a cage in the basement over winter. It was released through a basement window in the spring, ran into the street, was squished by a car. Sad story. 356 East Mill Street house memories. Gary on his bike. Paul in the picture with Gary and Hugh. "356 East Mill Street house memories. Gary and Smokey. Fern with all of her sisters, standing at the rear of her new house on Mill Street. Dorothy, Isabel, Marion, Lois, and Fern. There's 5 of us. Gary's birthday. $11,945 State Street Northeast, Alliance, Ohio. 1957, 1986. We have 9 sheep, 1 dog, Birdie, who is 13 years old, and 2 cats, Nappy, who was there when we arrived, and Sin, Betty or Toes, one which Hugh brought in that was stranded on the road. Elvin's still at the Alliance Review, superintendent of the commercial printing shop. Gary, 21 years old, is a senior at Duke University, where he is majoring in economics. And Hugh, 18-year-old, who is a freshman at Mount Union. The world has been very good to us and we are all very happy. 1415 Briarwood, Alliance, Ohio, 1986-2008. We celebrated Marion's 89th birthday here. Briarwood was a nice house. 1725 Fairview Place, Alliance, Ohio, 2009, present. My sister Marion lived here. Carlos built this house. I like this house, and I am very content living in this house. Tony Wilson's parents' house. John Wilson, residence, 1904. Olin and Josephine has a son named John Lease Wilson. Jarman Printing, 1970-1986. When we worked at the Review, we had a chance to buy the Jarman Printing Company, and after a time, we took over and hired our own people. We both worked very hard. We made a success, and we sold it in 1986. Union Avenue First Methodist Church, where I first met Alvin. I cooked and served dinner. We both worked, attend service every day, Sunday, and we got married. The kids went to Sunday school. University of Mount Union football field. Alvin managed the Alliance High School football team. The boys played football from junior all the way through to high school. I like to sit up far on the bleacher so I could see better. I went to State Street High School since first grade to high school. I don't understand. Gary and Hugh inducted in the Hall of Fame at Alliance High School. Gary, Hugh, and Alvin during our Florida vacation, where most all of the Wilson family are buried. This is a picture of the Mount Union Cemetery, where most of the Wilsons are buried, and I am sitting on a bench that was made by Alvin's father, and we took it. It was in our backyard at State Street, and we moved it around everywhere, and we finally moved it to the cemetery. And beside that is Alvin's grandfather and grandmother are buried. And then the big stone is just a marker for the Wilsons. And beside that is Alvin's father and mother. And then we are in the back of that. I don't know what to say. The Wilson in the back is where Alvin is buried, and my name is on there, and I want to be buried next to him. Alvin and I planted a seed and nurtured it for a while, and he took over from there.
Yeah.
Gary is on the left when he was working for Disney, and now he is retired. Gary is enjoying all of the work that he has done his whole life, and he certainly has done a lot of it. And he has gained respect, and he is now enjoying that. And Hugh is sitting at his desk. I forget where that, at Texas A&M University. He worked there for 30 years as a professor. And then Texas A&M moved down to Texas, and Hugh moved down with it, and then he retired, and now he has a 26-acre farm that he and Tony are managing, and a big house, and it keeps them very busy. This is the end of my book, and I do hope you enjoyed it. I love you all.